direct response to your inquiry. We have 7 open positions. We have extended 5 offers. We have also extended 2 offers that are in pending. This does not include those positions for the Marsh Cove station at the present time.
Okay.
So we are working very diligently to obtain full staffing. And I believe
I'm not saying, I'm just saying I'm trying to help you.
Yes, sir.
By getting an independent, somebody in here to help you out, whatever it takes, you know, a search firm, whatever it takes. to get these
Councilman
people.
Kemp, we don't want to be looking right now for any more positions.
Excuse me?
We don't want to be looking for any more positions right
No,
now.
it's just going outside. We have a full staff, we're spending money, we're taking money for 12 months. So take one of those salaries out and use it to, give it to human resources or whatever, to hire a consultant or whatever it is to help out, that's all. I'm just saying that the money's gonna be spent anyway, and I'd rather come back and have them say, we need the extra money to get the extra position, or to fill the position, than to, I'm just trying to help out here with
Yeah,
the,
we know, but Andy has a more deeper, fix on that and what's going on and whatever, so.
Madam Chair, I appreciate that, and I appreciate Mr. Kemp's comments.
Yeah.
And we all want to find a way and get the vacancies filled, but I would suggest that that's not a budgetary decision that you need to make. The money is in the budget for the full salaries. If we want to do something different than that going
Afterward.
forward, we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, you got it, John?
said it was one more question. One more question, that's it.
So, with that, it was something else, one of the things that I had, you wanted to talk about. Oh, you want to, bring this up.
Madam Chair, I wanna bring up an item here, that I think we need to look at. Let me give everybody one. I want to talk about this for a second, and I thank Madam Chair for giving me a few minutes. And the reason why I want to talk about this, this is something that we need to think about hard and right. On this paper y'all got in front of you, this John Deere used to be at Sergeant Jasper Park, and it got switched out, what you call a trade, for a tractor that has a bucket, and you see that old blue, old looking tractor look like Green Acres. That tractor got switched for this nice green John Deere, new John Deere that the county had bought, that was down at Sergeant Jasper Park, that really wasn't hardly being used, just because it had a bucket on it. The John Deere was already set to be able to put a bucket on it, and during that time, I had found out from John Deere that they could have put a bucket on the tractor. And I'll be honest with you, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it to you. I told Mr. Terry that what he should have done was took a 5-gallon can, a bucket of diesel, and put on this 40-year-old or 50-year-old tractor and carried back to the rock pile and set it afire. I mean, because you got the, every time you let it sit for a couple of hours, the blue tractor, you got to take the battery cable loose. It kills everything. And then you got to jump it off after a few hours. You know, so it need to be parked. And I think what we need to do is still spending $40-something for a brand new John Deere. I think it's cheaper for us to put a bucket on this tractor and send it back down to the park. I called John Deere, had them to fax me this paper over, and it's cheaper to put a bucket on there with a joystick that it will be able to be used and operated down at Sergeant Jasper Park. That means we can take that $40-something thousand and put it to the side, so if something come up, we'll have money to deal with if we have to do something to the tractor. But this John Deere, it's a nice tractor. And it's just sitting there. The only time pretty much used when time to cut the square in Gilsonville. But if you notice on the other paper, I took a picture. It got two brand new tractors with bush hog on it. With the cutting blades on it, just sitting there. So if they need to cut that big square in Gilsonville, they can use one of the blue tractor. See, and this green tractor can be put back to Hardyville, and it will be used down there. And again, I say, it's cheaper to put a bucket on it. You know, but it's not my call.
But who's responsible for that?
Park and Recs.
For the green? For the green
Well,
tractor?
it's switched the green tractor for this old blue one.
Blue one is Parks and Rec.
Well, it seems to me that we should just direct the administrator to have it done.
Yes. You see that? Well, I just want to let my colleagues see what I was talking about. You know, it's cheaper to put a bucket on this nice John Deere, and I already called them, and they said they can put a bucket on it for that price. So I had them to send a price print out so everybody could have, the board could have seen, and the administrator could have seen what was cost to put a bucket, instead of paying there $50,000 for a John Deere. And that's a nice tractor, and it can be used.
Right.
You know, and if we got to get one a later time, that's a difference. But right now, I think that tractor can be used down to that park, and it'll service them down there if we get a bucket put
Mr.
on it.
Folger?
I mean, because we already approved for them to get a tractor to take care of the baseball fields.
Mr. Folger?
You know, so now you don't need this tractor doing the baseball field.
What he's saying,
See?
you understand what,
Yes,
what he
Madam
wants?
Chair, Councilman Atkins and I have had a conversation about that, and the Parks and Rec budget reflected a request from the Director of Parks and Recreation for a new utility tractor at a cost of $35,000, but that was stricken from the budget by the administration. So
Okay.
Okay.
he requested it. We took it out, but I understand what he's talking about, the transfer of the property and potentially having to
Okay.
buy that new bucket for the $9,000. We'll have to look at the
Exactly.
budget and see if we can find that to make that purchase for you.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we're gonna break so that we can get something to eat before, we go into our executive session at 5. But we got, one other thing we wanna get clear in our budget workshop, because I didn't see it reflect on here, that there will be no increase in salaries. That, the 2%, 2.5% raise is all that we are giving out at this time, and the administrator did make a proposition that we can't wait 2 years or 3 years to give the employees something. We have to fix it where we can give them something each year, and this will bring them up to where the study and to what the study is saying. We had one person that we had to do some work on, and that was our tech man, technology.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
all of this was done in the workshop, Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
Some of those things were discussed, yes. And Madam Chair, if I could just say along those lines, that's correct. I think going forward, you need to consider having some sort of cost of living allowance each year, because what you have is increases in insurance premiums and so forth, and retirement contributions from employees, and so they just get further behind if you don't have a cost of living increase. And I would tell Mr. Kemp, I think that's a primary issue when people are shopping for a job in this environment. I mean, you traditionally have not been able to give raises, but about every 5 years. And if you look at it that way, you know, a new sheriff's deputy comes in and works 20 years and has 4 raises throughout that entire period. So I would say those are some policy issues that you all can consider that I think would make it, the recruiting, much more attractive. So thank you for that, Madam Chair. And I just want to also mention to you that Mr. Dillon has requested that we go ahead and, when you're ready, make the motion to go into executive session before you break. And that way he will be able to capture that for the reasons for our audience. And then we can come back out after executive session. And should you have any action out of that and re-go into your 6:30 regular meeting.
At this time, I'm going to call for a motion to go into executive session to discuss.
Ms. Clark, can you call the meeting to order and do the certificate of compliance and then call us into executive session?
Oh, I'm looking for my paper. That's what I lost. Well, I done mix it up here with all this stuff, Alvin.
There you go.
Okay, now. All right, at this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. And we're going to ask for the clerk's report of compliance.
Yes, ma'am. In compliance with the Freedom of Information Act, notice of meetings and agendas were posted and furnished to all news media and persons requesting notification.
Okay. At this time, we need to go into executive session to discuss meetings which may be closed, procedures, circumvention of chapter, disruption of meetings, executive session of General Assembly. A public body may hold a meeting closed to the public for one or more of the following reason: discussion of negotiation incident to proposed contract agreement and proposed purchase of sale of property, the receipt of legal advice, where the legal advice related to a pending, threatening, or potential claim or other matters covered by the attorney-client privilege, settlement or legal claims, or the position of the public agency and other adversary situation regarding the assertion against the agency of a claim. Exit 3, Ridgeland Fire Contract, IGA between Jasper County and the town of Hilton Head for service related to the Palmetto Championship, local hospitality and accommodation tax agreement, Congaree Club. Proposed legal service contract for Jasper Ocean Terminal with Burr Foreman. Proposed purchase of property for Project Fence, 421 North Jasper Street, Region, South Carolina. Nickel Plate, MCIP, Dennis Smith. And the discussion of matters relating to the proposed location expansion of the provision of service, encouraging location of expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by a public body. Jasper Ocean Terminal, prospect update. Prospect update. That's it, isn't it? 1, 2. Any executive session matter on which discussion has not been completed may have decision suspended for the purposes of beginning the open section at its scheduled time, and council may return to executive session discussion after the conclusion of the open session agenda items. At this time, I'm going to call for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
It has been properly moved and second. Any questions? All in favor of, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.